Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of my playthrough of the Secret Army of General Knoxx. Um, Generally I try to keep some stuff in the videos vague. I don't want to try to date them or anything, but recording this today, today was a pretty big day. There was a lot of news that came out, and one of the most significant little news bits today was the passing of Harold Ramis, who most people will remember was Egon from Ghostbusters 1 and 2. He directed Caddyshack, the first National Lampoon's Vacation, Groundhog Day, one of my favorite movies, The Ice Harvest. He starred in, outside of Ghostbusters, he also starred in Groundhog Day. He was in Airheads. He had a little bit in that. Actually, he was a voice in Heavy Metal. Remember that? Stripes. He was in Knocked Up. But, that's a pretty significant... when I was growing up, a lot of the movies I seen, I grew up with Ghostbusters was a pretty big part of my childhood. As I got older, I seen, the other movies he was in or directed, and it's a shame when someone with that talent and someone that's brought that much enjoyment and good to people's lives. I hate that it's not like he's not a like a Gandhi or anything, but to some extent, everybody's got to acknowledge the impact that an actor or a writer or a director makes on people's lives. And I'm fortunate enough, as I've said in past videos, that my son enjoys almost a lot of the same things, basically the same things that I enjoyed when I was younger. So him and I, we were able to bond over Ghostbusters. He liked Ghostbusters. He loves Ghostbusters, and I think that's why that's another reason that's Ramis's death has a big impact on me, because not only was his work a big part of my childhood, but now as an adult, some of his work has provided bonding experiences between me and my son, as it did for me and my dad and my mother when I was growing up, and it's just a shame, and he was only 69, so he still had some years left in him. So, it's sad, I think, But moving on, another thing I read today was about the Xbox One price drop in the UK, which I found a little weird. They're dropping it over there. I would imagine sooner or later a price drop will be coming over here. Hard to say. And there's a couple other news stories, but this isn't that I read that were pretty big today, but I'm not going to get into them because politics and such don't have a place here for me. All I was going to say is it just kind of left me scratching my head. But, moving on. And talking about the Xbox One price drop, it's, when I read the article, I seen it quickly devolved into PlayStation 4, Xbox One debates, and people, the console wars, and I don't know. I still don't get the console wars. And going beyond game consoles, like, I don't understand why, if somebody likes something, somebody that doesn't like that particular item it impacts their life in no way, shape, or form. So why does it have to be a big fucking deal? But I'm not going to beat a dead horse, so we're going to move on from that. We're going to start talking about the game here a little bit. So, I think that was the first appearance of the Devastators in this, and they were an enemy that you didn't really see anything like that in any other part of the game. So when they first show up, it's kind of like, what the fuck is that? You know? Eventually, once you figure them out, they're kind of pushovers. I was kind of hoping when they announced Borderlands 2 that when they talked about Hyperion loaders and they showed that, I don't know if it was a screenshot or just promotional art, but that kind of like a cross between Saturn and a super badass loader. That was awesome, and I was like just blown away because it was like they really were increasing the sheer scope of like what you were going to be up against. And then the game came out and you just had the regular run-of-the-mill variations of your loaders, and then you had the super badasses and the badasses, and then you get Saturn. So it was kind of a letdown that you didn't have these big random loaders that were kind of akin to the Devastators. Granted, I know the Devastators belong to Atlas and they weren't actually like a robot per se. I think there was actually like a Atlas soldier in there or something, I can't remember. But this leads into my next point. A lot of people kind of cried a foul. And I recently watched a video on some of the debates about Gearbox and their quote-unquote bait-and-switch tactics. And without getting into great detail, I like Gearbox. Do I think they're perfect? No. Granted, I haven't played Duke Nukem Forever, but I was never like, this might be blasphemy, but I never played Duke Nukem 3D. That kind of came out at a time when I was kind of in and out of gaming for a while, as I've stated before, and that kind of came out at a in and out point in my life, gaming. But so I never really got around to it. It just never, I don't want to say it never appealed to me, it just wasn't high on my priority list of games to play. I mean, I was more of the Doom 2 guy, Quake 2. But I don't, yeah, I kind of felt like I was misled with Colonial Marines. You know, they had that awesome tech demo, and then when the game came out, it was a big old fucking turd. I played it on the Xbox 360 against my best judgments, and while not a masterpiece, had I not followed any pre-release hype about the game, I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more than I did. I don't want to say it was a bad game per se. It certainly had its issues that have been well documented in other videos that I don't need to go through here, I don't feel. But I think what happened in the instance of Colonial Marines, I think their reach exceeded their grasp. And, you know, I don't think the gaming public will probably ever know what happened with that whole thing. I do believe there might be some truth to the rumors that they used some of Sega's money, or if not all of Sega's money, to fund Borderlands 2. But I think what it all boils down to is they had too many, what's the saying, kettles on the stove, or kettles, irons in the fire. We'll go with irons in the fire. Because I think they were surprised by the success of Borderlands, and they wanted to capitalize on that, so they started to work on Borderlands 2. Then, you know, they bought the Duke Nukem rights off of 3D Realms. I think they were trying to polish that train wreck of a mess. And then they still had, you know, Aliens had, it doesn't show in the final product, but it had a 6-year development time. Now, I think to some extent you got to keep in mind Randy Pitchford is a businessman. He's not going to come out and be like, "Oh, our product's a steaming pile of horse shit." So I don't think he can see. This is a slippery slope. I don't fault him for the E3 presentation of Colonial Marines, because if you go back and you watch pre-release trailers and footage of Borderlands 2, there was a lot there that never made it into the final game. But it was more so certain elements like you had the way the bandit weapons looked. You had some people were still bitching that there was TDR assault rifles that didn't make it into the final game. Some other things, and I think what happens is, and this isn't exclusive to Gearbox, I think you get these developers, they get these grand ambitions, and had they had free reign, I don't know what that pause was about there. Had they had free reign on Borderlands 2 and could have put it on PC only, maybe, then possibly you would have seen those, like the way the bandit weapons, like you had the iron sights that were like a nut and a bolt, and some of the other things, like the bandit weapons looked fucking cool in the pre-release stuff, not so much in the final game. But I think, a lot of people fail to take into consideration the console limits. The Xbox 360 and the PS3 were kind of starting to wind down in terms of what they could and couldn't pull off. And I think, when they were planning Borderlands 2 and they were trying all this stuff out, they were like, this, we can do this. And then once they saw what they had to work with the consoles again, they were probably like, no, that's not going to work. And even in its current state now, I tried going back and playing Borderlands 2 on the PS3, and it's like, it's bad. I mean, if you go, you probably wouldn't notice it as much if you exclusively played on the console. But if you go and play the PC version and then you try going back to the console game, like the 360 version's playable. It has its issues here and there, but the PS3 version has some terrible. Like you fire Herald or Northfleet and you got a slideshow. And it's only gotten worse as the numbers have gotten bigger and the game has gotten bigger and so on and so forth. And I think if they would have introduced, or if they would have made the game that they had showed at E3 or whatever it was that they showed, that little Bloodshot Ramparts demo, probably wouldn't have been able to play it at all on the PlayStation 3. And it's, by the time all these DLCs and level caps and shit came out, and even the Xbox 360, I'm sure probably would have struggled in that state,
Should be able to see the prison now.
And
it used to be an island in the
we don't know what happened
now
with Colonial Marines other than what's the the rumors from so-called ex-devs and former employees of Gearbox, and I forget who they outsourced to now, but one thing I will say is, at least it shouldn't have had to come to it, but at least in the PC side, they tried to fix it a little bit. I picked the game up on a Steam sale, I think or Amazon sale or something. I got it for like $1.99 or something ridiculous. And the whole reason I picked it up is I just wanted to see how different it would be with the 6 gigabyte or however big the patch was compared to what I had played on the 360. Because as I said, granted the game had its issues, but I still had sort of some dumb fun with it, if I had to give it a review number, I'd probably give it like a 6.5. But that's just me. Am I let down by what we got compared to what we saw? Yes. And I think some of that can be attributed not so much to the fact that I don't think Pitchford's an outright liar. I think he gets excited about his products and he goes on and on. And I think he, in his excitement, he overblows what they got going on. That can be seen in some of the Brothers in Arms pre-release stuff. Definitely the Borderlands 2 pre-release stuff. But I don't think he's intentionally trying to mislead people. I think he's just a guy that he has a company that makes video games and he gets excited about the games that he makes and he
I always thought his roof would make
talks
a great
about them, you know.
ramp. Time to find out. It's showtime.
I think he gets some unneeded hate and harassment on Twitter. He got some on Thanksgiving Day for the Waddle Gobbler DLC, and you know, to bother a guy on a holiday that he's more than likely trying to spend with his family, that's kind of
so I know you made it.
Pick your days a little bit better to bitch about something. Of course, he's going to probably get a little mad, and there was a Twitter exchange between him and some people, but you know, to some degree, you also got to understand what you're getting into when you buy something. If you're going to go in and pay for something, like some of the people, like especially with the Headhunter packs, got pissed because they were too easy or too short. And pretty much, that's the only time that I got exactly what I expected from the way they were talking about the DLCs. I expected them to be short. They said they were going to be short, in the 20-minute range. They said they were going to be a little bit more appealing for the average Borderlands 2 player. So I knew. And moving on from that, another thing I kind of want to talk about is what's with all the hate and name calling and pissing and moaning on about cosplay. I seen a picture of somebody, of a woman dressed up like Jade from Mortal Kombat 9. And for all intents and purposes, it was a very faithful rendition of her default costume. And immediately you get the pictures of the meme of Dr. Evil in the quotes, saying in the word cosplay in quotes, and people are saying she's dressed up like a skank and she's a whore and blah 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 blah. Apparently you didn't play Mortal Kombat 9 because all the fucking women in Mortal Kombat 9 are scantily clad. For fuck's sake, Melina has a costume that's basically a couple wraps over her nipples and her other girly parts. So I don't understand it. I mean, I can understand, like, you know, people getting a little pissed about, like, taking someone like Misty from Pokemon and kind of sexing it up or something like that. You know, I can understand some of the hate there. But, or, well, not even hate. I mean, I can understand just being a little miffed about it. But I don't understand the general, like, oh, she dressed up like Jade, or she dressed up like Melina, and she's a goddamn dirty whore. It's like, are you fucking... Did something between your ears fail to work that day that you're automatically jumping to that conclusion because she dressed up as that character? You know? Dude can dress up as Kratos, and you don't see anybody fucking pissing and moaning that he's a... You know, oh, he's got a loincloth and sandals on. He must be an asshole, you know? But a girl shows a little bit of boob, and she's a whore.
And if you're looking for the girl, I can assure you she is unarmed.
I will...
We'd totally harm her.
I don't understand, just like...
Maybe Chaz will come too.
There's just this huge amount of negativity over, like, almost everything in gaming. in I hate using this word, but nerd culture. Right down to, and people like cosplaying, a lot of these people aren't professionals. They make a costume. And, well, I don't want to say they're not professionals, but a lot of these people, they use the means that they have to make a costume. And if one detail isn't right, then there's 30 comments on their picture bitching that they suck, or they fuck this up, or they fuck that up. And I think the age of the internet has caused a good majority of people to forget what it's like to celebrate something you love and have fun with it. If a girl wants to dress up like one of the women from Mortal Kombat,
Hope I'm lucky.
more power to her. If she's got the body to pull off some of them costumes, more power to her. And let's be honest, most of these guys that are saying shit on these comments, 9 times out of 10, if presented with the opportunity to have a chance with a girl that looks like that, they're probably not going to say no. But I hate to keep beating a dead horse, because it's been beaten and ground up and turned into glue and dog food and shit by now. But it's just a concept that's lost on me, and not so much just a cosplay thing, just being an asshole in general and hating in general. I've been fairly fortunate in the few comments on the videos that I have gotten. They've been pretty constructive. Some of the YouTube channels I follow, they're haven't been so lucky with their comments. But it all boils down to, you have this anonymous persona on the internet, and there's no repercussions for your actions, which I think is part of the reason why, outside of my PlayStation Network name, which I made when I got a PlayStation when I was like 24 or something, and I was listening to Pantera and Slipknot and shit, so I was all into I still listen to Pantera and Slipknot, but one of my favorite Pantera songs was Slaughtered, and you needed numbers at the end, and at the time, I think that was right around the time Iowa came out, so there was that whole, as a Slipknot fan, you're into that whole, the Heretic Anthem was pretty big at the time, so I just combined the name of my favorite Pantera song with that whole 666 thing from my Slipknot fandom, and that was my screen name. But as I got older, I just used my first name and some numbers, and I don't feel the need to create this online persona to hide behind or anything like that, because I don't feel, for the most part, I'm not divulging personal details of my life or anything, but I don't have anything to hide behind. I don't feel the need to hide behind anything online, I don't need to create this larger than life persona for myself on the internet or in gaming or anything like that. And plus it kind of boils down to a lack of creativity on my part when coming up with a name. Like, what do I want to stick with for the next 20 or 30 years as an online handle? But I couldn't bring myself to just be a complete, and I have some asshole tendencies in me, I'm not gonna lie, but I couldn't bring myself to be a complete and utter douchebag to some random person online because of their cosplay or their belief on their system of choice or game of choice or whatever, And going back to the COD thing, like I said, I don't play it, but I don't condemn the people that do play it. If that's what you enjoy, hey, that's what you enjoy. I wish I could find the same enjoyment in it that you do. I think Jim Sterling said it best about his review of Assassin's Creed 2. He didn't enjoy the game, and he has nothing against people that did enjoy the game. I thoroughly enjoy Assassin's Creed 2. Out of the whole series, it's probably still my favorite. I played it on the PlayStation 3, I played it on the Xbox 360, and I got it for the PC too. It's just one of those games I thoroughly enjoyed. The fact that I have some Italian heritage probably helped, but it was, to me at the time, it was that was the first really open world game I got into. I wasn't a huge GTA fan. I'm still not really a huge GTA fan. I gave 5 a shot on the urging of one of my friends, and it's just, again, it's like the COD thing. It's not my thing, and I have nothing against people that do enjoy it. I can't just get into it the way some people can. But on the flip side, like, I loved Saints Row 2, 3, and 4. The ones that I played, I haven't played the first one yet. I got into Saints Row pretty late. I got Saints Row 3 for free off of the PlayStation Network through PlayStation Plus. And I played the shit out of that game because it appeals to that juvenile sense of humor that I still sort of have in me. So, you know, there's that. And the fourth one was the best Matrix game that was never made, in my opinion. But, you know, I tried playing Grand Theft Auto 5. I got maybe 2 hours into it. I'm not sure how far into it I am. But, it's kind of been sitting there collecting dust for the most part. I've been thinking about trading it in. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll give it another shot and I'll be able to get the same level of enjoyment out of it that other people do. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I tend to sometimes like things that other people don't. As I've stated, I liked Final Fantasy 13. Not saying it was the greatest Final Fantasy game. In fact, it could have not been called a Final Fantasy game. And I don't think anybody would have had a complaint about it if it was labeled as something else. But I enjoyed it not so much because it had this awesome story or anything. What saved that game was the fact that it had an awesome battle system. At least I thought it had an awesome battle system. I know some people were upset. A friend of mine didn't like the fact that you couldn't control all 3 party members. But I liked it. Actually, I'll have to go back, because I thought you could control all 3 party members, but maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while since I played it. But, you know, I'm more of a, my beliefs fall in line with to each their own. And
You killed my second husband. You actually
I don't,
killed him.
I try
know,
not to
told
condemn
you
anybody
to,
for
but
what they do and don't
I'm
like,
sorry.
and
I need a minute. Go
I don't
get
see
the
why
girl. I'll be in touch.
anybody else should or shouldn't, you know. But that's just me. Kind of running out of steam here. This video turned out a little bit longer than I anticipated. I just kind of like, the length of my videos aren't predetermined. I just kind of go with the session and then cut it whenever I feel like it. Lately, my thing now is I use, like for my Borderlands videos, I use NVIDIA Shadow Play, and for some reason, I don't know why it records, it breaks my sessions down into like, I think like 10-minute segments, and then I just stick 4 of them in Sony music or movie studio, and that's my video that I upload. So sometimes it ends in the middle of the action. That's like my way of having a little bit of a cliffhanger, but so I don't stick to any preconceived length. Generally, most of my discussions, if I'm doing live commentary, that's usually reactive to what's going on. If I'm doing like this stuff here where I'm talking over it after the fact, because like as I've said before, I got a pretty small house, so I can't be doing like a live commentary when my son's here sleeping, because his bedroom's like, the bedroom door's like almost shares a space with my living room, so I mean he could hear me if I was talking. And so generally I play at night with the headphones, record, and then do the commentary later when he's at school or after work on the days that I work or something. But I tossed around the idea of doing like, maybe doing like a vlog style thing or anything like that, but then I started realizing like I just basically talk about whatever the hell I want during these videos anyways, so the vlog thing kind of wouldn't really suit any purpose, other than maybe if I wanted to talk about something specific, possibly, but so far, for the most part, I haven't got too opinionated on anything that I felt that I needed to make a video specifically for that opinion, because as I've said, you know, this is about fun and sharing the things that I love with people, so I mean, there's not going to be any, like, anything I'm going to discuss I'm not going to get into, like, politics or any of that, unless maybe it applies to video games, you know, like if they have another thing with, like what California tried doing with banning the sale of mature rated games and all that, but, plus, winging it kind of... Well, the only problem with winging it is maybe I should take notes so I don't repeat shit that was in previous videos, but I don't know. We'll see. It's sort of working so far for me, but you know, we'll see how it goes if my channel continues to grow past what I have now. And I don't have any like illusions of, like, I don't want to say I'll never someday have like 1,000 subscribers or anything like that. Maybe someday it'll happen. It's not going to happen tomorrow. I'm well aware of that. I'm well prepared for that, and I'm totally fine with that. You know, I know things take time, and I don't mind starting off small. I'm just, the fact that I even have the subscribers that I do now, and people actually take the time to watch these videos, I appreciate. The fact that, you know, people out there actually will spend some time out of their day to watch something that I did is a huge honor to me. It's kind of the same feeling I used to get when I was in a band and you're up on stage and you're playing. Like, the fact that people were spending their time to witness something that you're doing, you can't describe that feeling, whether it be through this or playing music. I've always considered it an honor, because time is a precious thing in life, and the fact that people were willing to spend time participating in something you do, it's a big deal to me. So for the people that do watch my videos, and have subscribed to my channel, I don't think there's any way I can thank you enough. I think eventually, as I get bigger, if I get bigger, I will probably start doing stuff like giving away Steam codes or something, but that's a ways off. Actually, I have an Arkham City code. Maybe I'll give away, because I had bought the game and then I upgraded my GPU to when I got a 780 Ti, and when I got it, I got an Arkham City code. I should see if that code's still good, and then maybe I'll give it away. Just as, you know, I mean, because I don't care if I have 14 or 1,400 subscribers. It's I appreciate anybody that takes the time to view my videos. So maybe I will give that code away. I'll have to think of some creative way to do that. I got to make sure the code's still good first. So maybe so before I get too gung ho there, I got to make sure it didn't expire. But at any rate, also too, I've said this in the past, and I'm starting to get a couple more comments here and there on the videos. You know, if there's a game you think I should try, or or anything in Borderlands I should try doing, I'm up for anything. I'll give anything a shot. Just leave a suggestion, and I'll see if it's feasible. Also, I'm really looking into getting a capture card so I can do some console stuff. I got some
Your rescue is
console
most
games I'd kind of
agreeable.
like to do. I
Thank
started doing some
But to be honest,
digging into the
most of it I
Nintendo
just
thing,
wanted to do my
and
nails
that
and
doesn't
talk
look
about
like it's going to be
boys
as
all
big
the
of a
time.
deal as I thought it would
I
be.
almost sort of loved it
And
here.
again, since I don't
They were
monetize
like
my
the
channel,
sisters
I don't
never had
particularly
because
care if they
Atlas duped me into killing
content
them.
claim as long as the
Wow,
videos aren't
that
blocked
got heavy, didn't it?
worldwide.
Never
I'm
mind.
cool. They can claim
I
the
don't have time
content.
to explain everything right now.
So,
I need
and
the
that being
teleporter
said,
straight
as I've
away.
said in the
Just get me
past,
to
if
PTD.
you ever see an advertisement or anything, that's because of a content ID claim, not because of anything that I've done.
Meet me back at Scooters. Sorry, this thing only has enough juice
I don't-
for one.
I don't plan on, nor will I. I could have 100,000 subscribers and I wouldn't monetize this channel. Because it's, as I said, this is about
Sorry to
fun.
be such a
This is all
party
about
share.
having fun and
Trying to make funeral
sharing
plans
stuff
and
and
help you
doing
escape at the
stupid
same time.
shenanigans here and there.
Married
Like,
husband's
can I
cronies
kill
will be
Bunker
coming
with
after
nothing
you.
but a fastball
Just
grenade
take
and
a monster off the old Peter. You'll survive
dumb
the
stuff
fall.
like that, or
Oh,
whatever,
and
you
pour
know,
one out
or
for
how
David.
fast can I kill some
I mean, Mr. Shank.
the
for me.
headhunter bosses with Maya and a pitchfork, or you know, whatever. You know, it's just goofiness and sharing. As I said, sharing what I enjoy with people. I'd probably do a little bit more with some other stuff, other forms of media, but the whole content ID claiming system is tough. Actually, today being the 24th, I should be finding out what's going on with my I Was Lost Without You cover, because they had until the 24th to come to a conclusion about what's going on with my claim dispute, because as I said, I don't care that they claimed it, but they pulled some song out of their ass that they said that I was infringing upon, and the song that they picked is not the song that the song is a cover of. But oh, let's see, maybe yep, they withdrew their claim. I just checked it. Cool. I'm sure I'll probably get hit with another content ID claim once they figure out what song it actually is, but that's fine. I don't care. It's a cover song. If they want to claim it, they can claim it. But that's weird. I just checked it before I started recording this, and it still had, like, I mean, it was something unreal. Like, there was like 7 companies claiming it, and every one of them was claiming it for the incorrect song. But it must just be whoever does the. I did a cover of the Elusive Man theme and Uncharted Worlds that I mushed together, and it got claimed too, and they claimed the wrong song. At least it was from the right soundtrack, but it was still the wrong song. But I thought about disputing it, but I was like, man, if I get hit with a copyright strike on the I Was Lost Without You video, and then they hit me with a copyright strike on this one, I'm fucked. So as a little person, I gotta pick and choose my battles. Like I said, the only time I'm going to dispute the copyright or the content ID claims is if it's a complete and utter bullshit, like they picked the wrong song or something like that, or they blocked the video worldwide. I'll try to appeal to them in some way, shape, or form, like they did with my one Tomb Raider video was blocked worldwide, and I was like, look, you know, I just emailed them out. I says, here's what you have on your website is the rules for being able to post the content. I followed the rules, and you can have your claim, but can you at least unblock the video? And they've removed the content claim completely. So that was kind of cool. But I think some of it, really, like, the only people I've seen that are completely ass hurt over this content ID claim system are the people that are trying to make a living off of YouTube, and which I have nothing against. If you want to make a living off of YouTube, that's your prerogative. But like some of these people, like the people that, there's one guy in particular that was pretty fired up over the Nintendo thing, down to saying he'd never play another Nintendo game ever again. He was just ass hurt because he didn't want to get off his dead ass and go get a real job. But and I'm sure if anybody who's seen this guy's videos, they probably know who I'm talking about, but I don't hold this person in the high regard anyways, because they're kind of an asshole and they treat their subscribers like shit, and aren't appreciative of the things that he has been given by being a YouTube personality. And frankly, I don't understand how he has the subscribers that he does, because I mean, blatantly is a dick to them, but that's a topic for another day. But you know what? We're getting close to the end here on this video. We're gonna jump off this little ramp here, and some parts of this I just save and quit, because where you have to go to complete the mission is just easier than driving. It's faster than driving. I had a slight detour here because I got confused and I thought the world's largest bullet was in this area, but it's not. But the next one I'm gonna have to fiddle around with, because I was doing some side quests and I got a little turned around and ass backwards. Gotta fix that because it gets kind of boring. But if I have something interesting to talk about, maybe I'll leave some of that stuff in for filler to talk over. But you know, again, I can't state enough how much I appreciate the people that watch my videos, and you know, you all matter, and I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch these and comment and everything, and I'm thankful for the little following I have so far, and things can only get better from here. So again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.